Hello, I am back with a brand new knitting video. It has been a hot minute, more like a hot year, 2 years? Don't really know. It's been a long time. Anyway, I have a new knitting video. In this video, we're going to look at how to insert an afterthought lifeline into garter stitch knitting. I have actually posted a video on this before. It was, however, met with somewhat mixed reviews. People didn't love that video and were not afraid to tell me. Some people hated that it was too far away. Some people hated that I didn't talk through it. I get it. I do get it. Okay. All I have are people complaining in other videos that I talk too much. I'm never really going to win, am I? Either way, in this video, I talk through it. I have got my camera as close as humanly possible. I don't have a professional filming setup, and trying to figure out how to film knitting, it's quite a task. I've done the best I can. I hope it explains it better than my previous video. And I will link to this video in the old one, so anybody who goes there can find this one instead. But yeah, I hope this video is helpful to you. I hope you enjoy it, and that's about it, really. I don't think there's an awful lot much else to say, except if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. It's entirely up to you. And if you do want to see more knitting videos, I really promise to be more consistent this year, then click the subscribe button, because I would love to have you join my channel. Let's get into the tutorial. So in this video, I want to show you how to place an afterthought lifeline in a garter stitch swatch. So I've just done a small swatch here. I've done 15 stitches and just a few rows. I've intentionally placed a little mistake around here. It's something where you might sort of look at it and go, it doesn't look right. I don't really know what's wrong with it, but I just want to get rid of that bit and start again. But I don't want to lose all of my progress. So what you could do in this situation is use an afterthought lifeline. So what you'll need is your swatch, obviously, a needle that is smaller than the one you're using. So this is a 9mm and this is knitted on a 12mm. You could also use a tapestry needle with some yarn, or you could use a interchangeable knitting needle as well with a cord. And then let's just get started. So I'm going to show you the middle section first of all, and then I will show you how we do the rest of it, just so we can see the way the stitches are laid out. So if we stretch these stitches apart, we want to go between two garter ridges. So we've got, it's almost like a wave, you see. We've got the bottom loop and then the top loop. We want to pull those apart, and you will see here that we have the loop there and the loop there. So that would be a knit stitch. That's one row, and then knitting back the other way. So we have, it almost makes a V if you look at it like this. Okay, so we've got the right leg of the V and the left leg of the V. Okay, and what we're going to be doing is taking our needle or tapestry needle or whatever we're using, and we're going to go underneath the right leg of the V, like so. Okay, and the reason we want to use a smaller needle is so that it's easier to slide through the stitches. So we're going to go under that right leg of the V and lift it up onto our needle. Then we're going to jump over the left leg of the V. I'm going to go between that and the next stitch. We're going to go back under the next right leg, over the left and under the right, over the left and under the right. Okay, so I'll just show you that one more time. We pull it apart. We've got our loop here. I hope my head's not in the shot. I'm sorry if it is. got our loop, so we've got the V, and we're going to go underneath the right leg of the V, over the left, under the right, over the left, and under the right, and over the left. And what will happen when you push your needle through is you'll see it looks identical to the stitches that are up on your needle. Okay, you'll have the little loop underneath, the loop going over, and it'll look the same. So that's what we need to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do it on the entire row, and I am going to do it on, let's just check, just wondering, I think I could probably get away with doing it on this one because the issue seems to be here. So if I do it on this row here, we're not pulling back all of the knitting, we're sort of preserving as much knitting as we possibly can. So I'm going to do it on this row. So at the very beginning, this one is the trickiest stitch to do it on. Okay, I'll try and work it out, but I think I've got it down. So what we'll do, I'll try and get it as close as I can so you can really see it. It's quite complicated looking if you just the first one. So we've got this horizontal stitch across here, which is the garter ridge. We have this stitch here, or this part of the stitch, which looks like the left leg of the V that we skip over. Then we have yarn coming out of here that wraps behind here, round and through, and then a little, just a tiny bit of yarn peeking its head through here that goes behind these two. Okay, so when we are picking up one of these, and pick up this, okay, one right leg, that right leg, if we just give it a tug, is attached to this. Can you see? So this is just one loop. I don't know if this is making any clearer or not, but this is one loop, okay? So what we want, these two are attached, they're the same piece of yarn. What we want is to pick up underneath the piece of yarn that is attached to that, which just so happens to be this teeny tiny little bit of yarn poking its head out of this twist. And if you pick up the wrong bit, you'll end up with an almighty mess every time. They're nearly always fixable, but you will. So you want to go under there, okay, and what you'll see is you'll have yarn that's looped over the needle, and then you'll have a little twist just underneath that, okay. So you go under there, and then you skip over that left leg of the V and go under the right, over the left and under the right, over the left, under the right, over the left, under the right, and I'll just work my way across. Once you get into a bit of a rhythm of it, it's actually quite quick. So we're just going to do, let me just pull back a bit because I just got a bit lost, over the left, under the right, and if you want to pull a couple of your stitches up onto the needle so you don't have them all bunched up here, because that can make it more difficult. I'm obviously trying to keep it flat on the table for the video purposes, but I will lift it up. So over the left, under the right, over the left, under the right, over the left, under the right, over the left, and under the right. And there we go. So what we need to do now, stretch it out. And what we want to do before we pull this out is we want to count how many stitches are on this needle. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. We want to make sure it matches. If we had 14, what it would mean is that we would have dropped one somewhere and we'd need to go back and pick that up. So next step after this is to remove the main needle. Now we have all of these life stitches, and we're just going to pull the yarn back all the way to the knitting needle. Okay, last little bit there. So that mistake that was up here, gone. And it's just like a normal piece of knitting. The one issue we have is that our working yarn is on the stoppered end. So what we want to do is flip over, like so, take our 12mm, so your main needle, whatever you're using, and we're just going to slip as if to purl, so not twisting the stitches. We're just going, literally slipping one from the other. Okay, like so. Slip them all the way to the very last stitch. And there you go. You're ready to pick up where you left off and just start knitting again. I have faffed about with this camera and trying to get my whole beautiful visage into the frame. If it's not, well, it's just tough now because I'm bored.